quality pants at $25. I mean, it's phenomenal what you can do at a 10% gross margin. How do you make money? You only got a 1% or 2% left. They're not worried about the percentage they make. They turn their inventory 15 times a year. The vendor, which is every 3.5 weeks, they pay their vendors in 4 to 5 weeks. So the vendors are paying them 1/4 or 1/5 cash because the inventory's already been sold before they have to pay for it. They take that money and organically build another store. They've got money that the suppliers are giving them in a very honest way as opposed to co-op advertising, the money to finance it. Totally interesting business model. Return on assets or margins times to inventory turnover. Not turnover in the classic way. You guys use the word turnover, sale, but inventory turnover. So here's a different business model. Phenomenal. Did you get that? Is that a pretty interesting model that your vendors pay you and faster than you've actually have to pay for the goods you got, and they've all gone by the time you get some of the money? Pretty good model. Anyway, it's great. 3,500 items. They broke the paradigm. It's not a phenomenally pretty store. It's a very clean, well-organized store. Stacks of rack, concrete floor, high ceilings. Largest wine cellar in the United States. Nobody sells more wine than Costco. So here you're talking about a whole new paradigm for the offer. It's basic, a lot of the health and beauty aids, bigger sizes. Probably half of their business, third to half of their business varies, is from small businesses. So they are half wholesaler in some way and half retailer. And then they also have a lot of large sizes. So you would say, what? How could a poor person come in here? They buy the big sizes. They walk out with $200 worth of goods at phenomenal prices. So half their audience is people really are struggling with budget. There's the food side. They're half food, half non-food. Let's talk about hottest in fashion. Fashion is big. Fashion. We're not talking about avant-garde French fashion. We're talking being on trend or leading trend in our country for the mass. Not for the super high end, but for what the consumer wants. We've got Gap used to be in here. Gap's fallen off. We take and add these as things happen. Gap used to be classic leader of fashion in the United States, but they've lost their place. We got places like Chico's. Here's a retailer who's going after that tailwind of the aging population. There's really not a lot of good stores in the U.S. that cater to the aging boomer woman, 40 to 60-year-old woman. Sizes change when you get a little older. I know none of you are in that category yet, but they do tend to change. Your body looks a little different. You still want to look good, you still want to feel good, but you need somebody who understands that and designs to it and gives you a fashion thing that doesn't look like a teenager, but makes you look good. And you want it comfortable. That's the next thing when you get older. You realize comfort is doggone important to you. Not those super high-heel clods that people walk around. That's going to kill a little bit older woman. She might try once in a while. But the point is they have a great understanding of the aging population. They have a great loyalty program. They go after them. And guess what? They only have 4 sizes. 0, 1, 2, and 3. So when somebody asks you, what do you wear? I wear 3. Most of the people at that age wear 3, but it's still a nice size. So great company, exclusive fashion, comfort, versatility for the boomer woman. Starbucks. That is a fashion retailer. Starbucks is struggling right now because they lost a little bit about who they were. Starbucks is all about making coffee cool, although they made it hot. Consumption on coffee was down per capita until they came along in the U.S. For us in the U.S., and everything is relative to what you do and see and what your competition is, but they made a better quality, more service, and they created an experience out of it, a lifestyle experience out of it. We're going to talk about what it takes to be a lifestyle retailer later. But they were very successful. I like to call it coffee nut latte with non-fat milk, no white cream, extra hot to go. Rob reminded me that they didn't do too well here, but you know what's interesting? We didn't think they were going to do too well in France or Italy, but they've done phenomenally in both of those countries. So I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Their coffee's pretty good. Now, the secret is, though, you know what they did? They put too many stores up. Instead of having this wonderful experiential store where I live in Chicago in Lincoln Park, and there is on the one corner, there is 24 hours a day, there's no room to get in, and there's probably 500 people in this place. But what they started to do was adding them every little dinky place. They put them in every supermarket, every Home Depot. They were starting to put it. And what happens when you start going in there and not managing it, the experiential component comes down. And when experiential components comes down, you can't get $5 for a cup of coffee. If it's commodity, you get 40 cents, but experience, you get $5, but they're back down to the $3 price point. So Whole Foods on top of the wellness, nutrition, good for you, green movement, a wonderful store, exciting, a really great experiential store, a lot of engaging interaction with fresh food, a lot, really dynamic, totally on top of good for you, the green movement. We're going to talk a little bit about that. Their whole store and everything they supply passes some rigorous tests around sustainability. Multiple eating options in the store. You know, for years we didn't have supermarkets that were anything other than package of item and row of food. But this is all about fun. Some other places, the one in London's got like 7 restaurants in it. It's in the Kensington area. It's a phenomenal place. Whole Foods also has a natural approach to wellness. We're going to come back to this, but they are very active in the wellness area through natural products. Fashion at a great price. Your target is somewhat similar to ours, but I don't think it's quite as powerful a brand and powerful as setting fashion. It is a discount. We were involved back in the 70s in the repositioning. Norm McMillan, the founder of our company, and we helped them write what's called strategies for growth. And it's their basic positioning strategy that they've changed twice, but only in the way as it executed it comes to life. It's all about fashion at a fair price to a family and a mother on a budget. That's all what their focus is. It's very simple.